Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today's going to be the first video in a series of videos that I want to do about installing all the different sub-harnesses that are available on an early 911 or 912, the short wheelbase stuff. So today we're going to start off with these little guys because these are really the first thing you need to put in when you're doing a wiring harness. So let me show you what these are and where they go. So these guys, and what do? So these are little sheaths that go around these tabs right here, and here, and here, and here. There's a bunch of them throughout the car. They go on to protect the wiring harness as it comes up through here, right? So here, let me show how one of these goes on. So you got a U-shaped tab right there, right? So this is cut on one side to where it'll slip up in there. You slip up one side, like so, and then you get the other side going. Easier said than done, right? Then you just kind of slide them up on there. And it forms a protective coating for the harness, all right? So that is what those guys do. Now, so I want to talk about where they're at and how many there are and so on and so forth. So there are different sizes of these. Now, there's different sizes between the different makes of the early cars. So there was, cars were made at the Carmen factory. They start with a serial number of 4. And then cars were made at the Porsche factory. They start with a serial number of 3. This particular car that you're seeing right now is a 3. So it was made at the Porsche factory. I also have a Carmen car. So it is a little bit different. And I'll show you that here in a few minutes. But right on this car, so let's take a look around the front trunk area here. So on this car, basically what we've got, turn on the light. So we've got them starting up here in the up under the dash area. So you've got one here and you've got a couple over here. To be honest with you, I've never seen this one used. I've seen this one and this one and this one, of course, used. This is because the wiring harness feeds up under here underneath the steering wheel shaft, and it comes through here. And like I said, I've never seen this one right here used because the harness typically goes up to the gauges up underneath there and onto the knobs for different things like the hazard lights and so on and so forth. But so just know that in the kit that you get from me at 911highvoltage.com, you'll get ones that will cover this, but you probably won't need it. So, but this one definitely gets used. This one gets used. This one gets used. This is a big one. Okay. This is a big one. This one gets used. This one gets used. This one gets used. Right here gets used. Here. There's 2 up underneath the cowl here to the right of the hood latch. Right? And then over here to the left of the hood latch, if you're looking at the car, you've got one here, and then one here, and then you've got one here. Then you've got 2 that go down to the wiring, or to the tube that the harness feeds out to the headlights. So there's one there, and then there's one over here on the driver's side that goes through that hole. Now you've also got 2 kind of hidden up under here, underneath that ledge, right? These are for the battery cable. So the next video I do will be the battery cable installation. So, but those 2 are for the battery cable. Now, one thing I do want to talk about, on this particular car, if you notice, these 2 are just one tab. I've looked at it really close, and it looks like it's just was originally one tab. But if you go over on the Carmen car, they're U-shaped. Okay, and I'll show that. And you're going to run that into that in the back too. So a little bit of differences between the 2 cars. I'll put that in next to where it shows that they're different on the Carmen car. So here's the front ones on the Carmen car, and they're all unrestored glory. Kind of nasty, but that's what it looks like. So you can see that that one's a U-shaped, and that one's definitely U-shaped. And also the ones up in there, the 2 that would go by the fuse panel, they're small. They're this size right here. They're not the big ones like on the Porsche car. So this being a Carmen car. So on ones that are potentially either broken and only have half the U, or maybe came from the factory this way and form only half a U, you can take the normal piece, like what's on there, and you can actually cut it in half. and you can slide it on there. So you'll have half that will go on there and form it perfectly. Now we're on the inside of the car. So this is where the brake master cylinder would connect in from underneath the car, and then your brake pedal will be right here. So there's 3 in here. There's one here, and then one here. These 2 are the large ones, and then this one is a small one. So once again, this is a Porsche car. This is a 3 serial number. So you got 2 big ones right here, and then you got 1 small one. Now we'll take a look at the Carmen car and see the difference. So now here we are on the inside of the Carmen car, and it's a little nasty up in here, but you can see here's that one, and then there's that one, and there's that one. So as you can tell, they're the smaller ones on the Carmen car. So you guys still got 3, but they're small. And then we have one last hidden one on the inside of the car. So let me move the camera here. Bear with me. So it's up inside, it's hidden. It's up inside the tunnel. So I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. So it's a full one, it's a U, and it's a small one, so they're the same on the Carmen, but that is one that's hidden from view right there. All right, so here's the back area that's underneath the car. This car's actually on a rotisserie, so it's technically outside, but that's just splitting hairs. But there are 6 of these things in the back here underneath the car. You got 1 here, right? And you got 1 here, then you got 1 here, then you got 1 here, 1 here, and then 1 down there. Now on the Porsche car, which this is, these are bigger. So you got the 2 up front, and then you've got these 6 in the back. So these take the bigger sheath. So now we'll take a look at the Carmen car, so I'll show you that it's got the smaller ones. Here's the Carmen car up underneath, and you can see that they're the smaller ones also. So now here we are at the back of the car. So the wiring harness would feed up through in that corner right there, and it would feed up into that U-shaped tabs, then into that one. Then it would come down here into this one. Whoa, that one's already been done. What in the world happened there? Then over into this one, then into that one. Now, if you notice on this car, this being the Porsche car, those are half U's. Those aren't the full. So I don't know. They look like they're original, but at the same time, maybe they broke off. They can, after you move them a lot, they can metal fatigue and break, but they don't look like they have. But if you go over to the Carmen car, that one and that one are U-shaped, and then that one is just a single. So I don't know, maybe differences between the 2 factories. But if you need to do a single, you would just take a normal one, depending on if it's a small or if it's a large, and cut it in half, and then just slide it up on there. So that's what I've done there. So that's a half of one that's been slid up on there. It gives you an idea. Then also in the back, there's these 2 back here on the support. So there you go. So that's how these go in and where they go. There's a total of 36 of them in the car. Don't forget that there's 2 in the front that are bigger. There's 2 inside that are bigger. You've got the 1 hidden one, which is a normal size, so it's no big deal on the size, but don't forget that hidden one up in the tunnel where the harness goes through. And then you've got 6 underneath that are bigger. So if you've got a Porsche car, you'll need the bigger sleeves to be able to do this right. So the kit that I sell on 911highvoltage.com, it comes with all 36, the normal size, and then I include 10 big ones. So if you've got a Carmen car, don't worry about it. You'll just have some extra big ones. If you've got a Porsche car, you'll have a few extra small ones. So, but you'll have everything that you need to do the job. So next video is going to be installing the battery cable. Should be a pretty quick, straightforward video. So I'll see you soon. Thanks for tuning in.